What if I told you that the very food you trust to protect your heart could be secretly undermining it? For years, we've been sold a perfect story about avocados. They're the creamy green superhero of the nutrition world, celebrated by doctors, fitness gurus, and health blogs alike. And this praise is, for the most part, deserved. Avocados are a nutritional marvel, packed with monounsaturated fats, potassium, and fiber, a true ally for your heart, brain, and joints. But here is the brutal truth that the health headlines never mention. This superfood has a dark side. The way you choose, store, prepare, and combine your avocados can quietly transform this healing fruit into a source of inflammation, digestive distress, and even long-term organ damage. This isn't speculation, it's a conclusion drawn from emerging clinical research and the real-world experiences of people who believed they were making the healthiest choice. We are about to dismantle the avocado myth piece by piece. We will expose 10 fatal mistakes that are not just robbing you of the fruit's benefits, but are actively working against your body, especially after the age of 60. These are not dramatic errors you would immediately notice. They are silent, insidious habits, reaching for an unripe avocado out of impatience, adding a harmless sprinkle of salt, leaving a half-eaten avocado on the counter, combining it with other so-called health foods in a way that creates a metabolic disaster. Each one of these mistakes is a ticking time bomb for your well-being, and by the end of this you will possess the knowledge to defuse every single one. This is more than a list, it is a survival guide for anyone who wants to harness the true power of this fruit without falling victim to its hidden dangers. Let's begin with the most common error, the one that sets the stage for all the others. Mistake number 10 is the delusion of overconsumption. In our modern wellness culture, the mantra is often, more is better. This is a dangerous lie when it comes to avocados. Their stellar reputation creates a false license for excess. You see them in your smoothies, on your toast, in your salads, and you think, if one is a superfood, then 2 or 3 must make me invincible. This is a physiological miscalculation of the highest order. Let's be clear about what you are consuming. A single medium avocado is a dense package of approximately 240 calories and 22 grams of fat. While this is predominantly heart-healthy monounsaturated fat, your liver, the body's primary processing plant for fats, has a finite capacity. When you flood your system with 2 or 3 avocados daily, you are not supercharging your health. You are overloading your internal machinery. That good fat begins to backfire, straining your liver and disrupting the delicate balance of your cholesterol profile. A pivotal 2023 study by the American Heart Association delivered a verdict that should make everyone pause. Nearly 27% of participants who consumed 3 or more avocados per day saw their LDL cholesterol and triglyceride levels actually rise. Let that sink in. The very food touted for cardiovascular protection was in excess, contributing to the problem. But the damage doesn't stop in the bloodstream. That massive influx of fat slows your digestive tract to a crawl, leading to bloating, a feeling of heavy sluggishness, and stubborn constipation. Perhaps the most insidious consequence, however, is silent weight gain. For seniors with naturally slower metabolisms and reduced physical activity, those extra hundreds of calories from multiple avocados don't just vanish, they are stored as visceral fat around the abdomen, directly contributing to liver stress and insulin resistance, the fundamental drivers of type 2 diabetes. The reality of this danger is documented in medical literature. Consider the case from the San Diego Gastroenterology Center. A 49-year-old man, convinced he was on the path to optimal health through a clean diet, developed acute pancreatitis, a severe and painful inflammation of the pancreas, directly linked to his habit of consuming excessive amounts of avocado. His superfood had literally made him critically ill. The solution is not to live in fear of avocados, but to approach them with intelligence and respect. Moderation is your shield. For most people, 1 medium avocado per day, or even just a half if other healthy fats like nuts or olive oil are present in your diet, is the golden rule. This isn't about deprivation, it's about strategic fueling. By controlling your portion, you harness the avocado's power for sustained energy and heart health without triggering the silent cumulative side effects of overindulgence. This leads us directly to mistake number 9, the bedtime sabotage. The evening seems like a peaceful, harmless time to enjoy a light snack. A slice of avocado toast or a small bowl of guacamole feels virtuous. In reality, eating avocado too close to bedtime is a covert attack on your sleep quality and metabolic recovery. The reason is simple yet profound. Avocado is a fat-dense food, and dietary fat requires a complex, hours-long process to break down. When you consume it within 2 to 3 hours of lying down, you are forcing your digestive system to run a marathon while the rest of your body is trying to shut down for the night. Instead of entering a state of rest and repair, your gut is working overtime, often resulting in a feeling of heaviness, bloating, and nighttime acid reflux as stomach acid is pushed up into the esophagus. The evidence is compelling. A 2022 study by the American Sleep Foundation found a direct correlation. Individuals who consumed high-fat meals before bed were 37% more likely to experience fragmented sleep and 42% more likely to report heartburn compared to those who ate lighter evening meals. But the disruption is even more biochemical. Research from 2023 revealed that high-fat evening intake can suppress the production of melatonin, the master sleep hormone, while simultaneously elevating cortisol, the primary stress hormone. The result is a vicious cycle. You lie in bed feeling both wired and tired, unable to achieve the deep restorative sleep your brain and body desperately need to function the next day. This is not an abstract concept. A clinic in Chicago successfully treated a 52-year-old man suffering from chronic insomnia. After a detailed review of his habits, the culprit was identified: his nightly ritual of eating an avocado-based snack. When he simply shifted this habit to his lunch hour, his digestion calmed, his acid reflux disappeared, and for the first time in years, his sleep became stable and restorative. The fix is straightforward but non-negotiable. Respect the clock. Enjoy your avocado at lunch or in the early evening, ensuring a minimum 3-hour buffer between your last bite and your bedtime. If you need a light nighttime snack, opt for something gentler like a small serving of plain yogurt or a handful of cherries, which can actually promote sleep. Your quality of rest is one of the most critical pillars of health after 60. Don't let a mistimed superfood rob you of it. Now, let's dismantle mistake number 8, the fat-free fallacy. In an outdated but persistent mindset, many people still believe that eliminating fat is the key to weight loss and health, so they make a catastrophic error. They pair their creamy fat-rich avocado with fat-free yogurt, fat-free dressing, or other diet foods. On the surface, it seems like a smart, calorie-conscious choice. In reality, it is an act of nutritional self-sabotage. Avocados are a treasure trove of fat-soluble vitamins, specifically A, E, and K. These vitamins are not water-soluble. They cannot be absorbed by your body without dietary fat to act as a carrier. When you consume avocado alongside fat-free foods, you are like a person with a vault full of gold but no key. The vitamins pass through your system largely unabsorbed, and you derive a fraction of the nutritional benefit. The consequences of this are documented and severe. A 2023 study from the Harvard School of Public Health found that nearly half of all individuals on long-term low-fat or fat-free diets developed measurable deficiencies in vitamins A and E, exhibiting symptoms like poor night vision, chronically dry skin, thinning hair, and a weakened immune response. Even more alarming is the risk to vitamin K, crucial for blood clotting and bone health. A deficiency can increase the risk of easy bruising, internal bleeding, and osteoporosis. The damage extends to your very core, your hormonal balance. The U.S. National Institute of Endocrinology published data in 2022 showing that women who severely restricted fat intake experienced irregular menstrual cycles and pronounced mood swings, while men saw a dramatic average drop of 20% in testosterone levels, leading to pervasive fatigue, loss of muscle mass, and diminished vitality. This is not just data, it's lived experience. A 41-year-old woman arrived at a Boston clinic, complaining of constant exhaustion, brittle nails, and significant hair loss. She was a health enthusiast who ate an avocado every single day. The paradox was solved when her diet was analyzed. She always mashed her avocado into fat-free yogurt and drizzled it with fat-free dressing. She was starving her body of the very nutrients she was so diligently consuming. The solution is to embrace synergy, not subtraction. If you are eating avocado, pair it with other healthy fats. Add a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, a sprinkle of walnuts or flax seeds, or a few slices of olives. This doesn't add extra fat, it unlocks the fat-soluble bounty you are already eating. Don't let an outdated fear of fat render your superfood useless. This brings us to mistake number 7, the unripe avocado hazard. Impatience is a common human trait. You bring home an avocado, eager to enjoy it, and find it hard as a rock. The temptation is to just slice it open and eat it anyway, thinking the nutrients are still there. This is a critical error that punishes your digestive system. Unripe avocados are saturated with tannins, natural plant compounds that are bitter and astringent. While harmless in small quantities, the concentration in an unripe avocado can be a direct irritant to your stomach and intestinal lining. Consuming them, particularly on an empty stomach, can trigger stomach cramps, significant bloating, nausea, and even symptoms that mimic a mild case of food poisoning. The science supports this. A 2023 study by the American Gastroenterological Association found that 31% of subjects who consumed foods high in tannins reported immediate digestive upset. For seniors, whose digestive systems are naturally more sensitive and slower, this risk is substantially higher. Furthermore, an unripe avocado is harder to break down. It forces your pancreas to work overtime to produce a surge of digestive enzymes, a strain that can exacerbate pre-existing conditions like chronic pancreatitis, or simply leave you feeling uncomfortably full and sluggish. The proof is in the clinical records. A clinic in Los Angeles treated a 36-year-old man who had developed severe recurring abdominal pain. He was a health-conscious individual who added avocado to his daily salads. The mystery was solved when it was discovered he was consistently using avocados that were still firm and unripe. The tannins were irritating his digestive tract. The moment he switched to properly ripened fruit, his pain resolved completely. The ripening test is simple and non-negotiable. Gently press the stem end or the body of the avocado. It should yield to gentle pressure, feeling slightly soft but not mushy. If it's hard, it needs time. To accelerate the process, place it in a brown paper bag with a banana or an apple. These fruits emit ethylene gas, a natural ripening agent. Your patience will be rewarded with a fruit that is not only creamy and delicious, but also safe for your gut and maximally nutritious. Next, we have mistake number 6, the silent killer of salt overload. It feels almost instinctual, a sprinkle of salt on avocado toast or in your guacamole to enhance the flavor. This seemingly insignificant habit has the power to single-handedly nullify the avocado's most celebrated benefits. Avocados are a heart-healing food by nature, very low in sodium, rich in blood pressure-regulating potassium, and full of anti-inflammatory fats. When you add salt, you are initiating a chemical war within your cardiovascular system. Sodium causes your body to retain water, which increases your total blood volume. This in turn forces your heart to work harder and puts increased pressure on the walls of your arteries. For a younger person, the kidneys might manage this onslaught, but after 60, your blood vessels have lost some of their elasticity, and your kidneys are less efficient at filtering out excess sodium. This makes you exponentially more vulnerable. A 2023 American Heart Association study concluded that individuals consuming more than 3 grams of sodium per day had a 46% higher risk of developing hypertension. The combination of high fat and high sodium, the exact profile of salted avocado, creates a perfect storm for cardiovascular strain. The signs begin subtly: waking up with puffy eyes, noticing that your rings are tight, or experiencing a dull, persistent headache. These are not minor annoyances. They are the warning flares of rising blood pressure. A 58-year-old man in New York sought medical help for debilitating headaches and shortness of breath. His blood pressure was dangerously high. The culprit was traced back to his daily breakfast, avocado toast, generously sprinkled with salt and even a dash of soy sauce. When he eliminated the added salt, his blood pressure normalized and his symptoms vanished. The solution is to flavor with intelligence. Avocado's rich, buttery profile is a perfect canvas for other flavors. Use the acidity of fresh lemon or lime juice, the warmth of garlic and cumin, the smokiness of paprika, or the gentle heat of chili flakes. These ingredients enhance the experience without betraying your heart health. Your avocado is already a gift to your arteries. Don't poison that gift with salt. Let's expose mistake number 5, the room temperature risk. You've sliced a perfect avocado, used one half, and left the other half on the kitchen counter for later. It seems practical and wasteful to do otherwise. This common practice is a reckless gamble with your health. The moment you break the skin, you expose the delicate flesh to oxygen, light and airborne bacteria. The browning that begins within minutes is more than an aesthetic issue. It is visual proof of oxidation, a process that degrades precious nutrients like vitamin C and antioxidants. More dangerously, at room temperature, the moist, nutrient-rich flesh becomes an ideal breeding ground for bacteria like Listeria and Salmonella. A 2023 University of California study demonstrated that at a typical room temperature of 72 Fahrenheit, harmful bacterial colonies on sliced avocado could multiply by a shocking 80% in just 2 hours. For seniors, whose immune systems are less robust, the consequences of this bacterial load can be severe, leading to intense gastrointestinal distress, dehydration, and in some cases, hospitalization. A real-world case from Miami involved a 34-year-old woman who consumed avocado that had been left on the counter for several hours. She subsequently developed a violent Listeria infection, characterized by severe vomiting, diarrhea, and fever, which required a full week of hospitalization to resolve. The protocol for safety is simple and must be followed without exception. The moment you are done with a portion, refrigerate the remainder immediately. To further protect it, brush the exposed surface with lemon juice or olive oil to create a barrier against oxygen, and then seal it tightly in an airtight container or with cling wrap pressed directly onto the flesh. If the avocado has been left out for more than 2 hours, the risk is too great. Discard it. Your health is worth far more than half an avocado. This leads us to mistake number 4, the toxic partnership with alcohol. The social scene often pairs them, avocado toast with a glass of white wine, or guacamole with margaritas. It feels sophisticated and harmless. Physiologically, it is a destructive combination that places a toxic double burden on your liver. Think of your liver as your body's primary detoxification center. It is responsible for processing both the fats from the avocado and the toxins from the alcohol. When you consume them together, you are forcing this vital organ to manage 2 complex and demanding jobs simultaneously. The result is often metabolic gridlock. The liver becomes overwhelmed, leading to the accumulation of fat within its own cells, the first stage of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. A 2023 study from Harvard Medical School provided alarming data. Approximately 40% of individuals who regularly combined alcohol with high-fat foods showed early signs of fatty liver disease within a 5-year period. But the liver is not the only victim. The pancreas is also caught in the crossfire. Avocado stimulates the pancreas to produce and release enzymes necessary to digest its fats. Alcohol, however, has the opposite effect. It can cause the sphincter that releases these enzymes to spasm and shut down. This creates a dangerous backup of digestive enzymes, which can begin to digest the pancreas itself.
itself, leading to acute pancreatitis, a sudden, severe, and life-threatening inflammation. The medical records are clear. Doctors in San Francisco treated a 42-year-old man who frequently enjoyed avocado dishes with margaritas. Over time, he developed chronic pancreatitis, resulting in constant pain, an inability to digest food properly, and a complete permanent overhaul of his diet. The solution is to decouple this toxic partnership. Enjoy your avocado during the main part of your day, as part of a balanced meal. If you choose to consume alcohol, do so separately, and pair it with light, non-fatty snacks like fresh vegetables. This simple act of separation is one of the most powerful things you can do to protect your liver and pancreas from silent, cumulative damage. Now we arrive at mistake number 3, the black spot deception. You cut into an avocado and discover dark, streaky spots or patches in the flesh. The common, thrifty reaction is to scoop out the discolored parts and eat the rest. This is a potentially catastrophic error in judgment. Those black spots are frequently not mere bruising. They are visible evidence of fungal colonization and mold. Certain molds produce secondary metabolites called aflatoxins, which are among the most potent natural carcinogens known to science. Chronic, low-level exposure to aflatoxins is a well-established and major risk factor for liver cancer. A report from the National Institutes of Health (NIH) in 2023 stated that up to 29% of liver cancer cases in North America could be linked to long-term low-dose dietary exposure to aflatoxins, often from foods where the mold was not obvious or was carelessly removed. The terrifying part is that the toxins produced by the mold can diffuse through the soft flesh of the avocado, meaning the clean green parts may also be contaminated, even if you can't see it. For seniors, whose livers are less efficient at detoxifying such compounds, the risk is significantly amplified. A clinic in Chicago documented the case of a 55-year-old man who made a habit of buying discounted, overripe avocados and simply cutting away the dark spots. Over time, he developed unexplained chronic liver inflammation, and blood tests revealed alarmingly high levels of aflatoxins. He had inadvertently placed himself on a path toward irreversible liver damage. The rule must be absolute. If you open an avocado and see black streaky spots or any signs of mold, you must discard the entire fruit without a second thought. It is not worth the risk. Your long-term health is infinitely more valuable. We are now at mistake number 2, the metabolic disaster of combining avocado with sugar. In many cultures, it's a popular treat to blend avocado with sweetened condensed milk, sugar or honey to create desserts, sweet spreads or smoothies. While the resulting taste may be pleasant, this combination is a recipe for metabolic chaos. Here's the physiological reason. The healthy fats in the avocado significantly slow down the rate of gastric emptying. This means that when you eat sugar alongside it, that sugar is released into your bloodstream much more slowly than it would be on its own. While this sounds positive, it has a dangerous consequence. It forces your pancreas to secrete a high level of insulin over a prolonged period. This chronic demand for excess insulin is the primary driver of insulin resistance, the condition where your cells stop responding to insulin's signal. Insulin resistance is the fundamental underlying cause of type 2 diabetes. A 2023 study by the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases found that 41% of individuals who routinely consumed meals combining high fat and high sugar developed hyperinsulinemia, excess insulin, and 19% progressed to a pre-diabetic state within the study period. The liver is a secondary casualty. The sugar, unable to be efficiently used for energy due to the slowed digestion, is preferentially converted into fat and stored within the liver itself, contributing directly to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NFLD. A man in Houston, aged 46, had been consuming avocados blended with sugar since he was a child, believing it was a healthy tradition. By middle age, he was diagnosed with both early-stage type 2 diabetes and significant fatty liver disease. His health only began to recover when he eliminated this destructive combination from his diet. The solution is simple. Never pair avocado with refined sugars. If you desire a sweeter profile, use the natural fiber-rich sweetness of berries or spices like cinnamon and nutmeg. For a savory application, combine it with tomatoes, olive oil, and herbs. You must protect your metabolic health from this seemingly innocent but deeply damaging pairing.
Finally, we arrive at the most dangerous mistake of all. Mistake number 1, the raw egg gamble. Fueled by fitness blogs and outdated health trends, some people advocate for blending raw eggs into avocado smoothies or topping avocado toast with a raw egg, promising a powerful protein boost. This is not a health hack. It is a game of Russian roulette with your well-being. The reason is unequivocal. Raw eggs are a significant vector for foodborne pathogens, most notably Salmonella and E. coli. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, estimates that Salmonella from eggs causes tens of thousands of illnesses each year. A 2023 report from the National Institute of Food Safety indicated that nearly a quarter of all Salmonella outbreaks were directly traceable to raw or undercooked eggs. Now consider the role of the avocado in this dangerous mix. Its high-fat content, which we've established slows digestion, becomes a critical liability here. This slower transit time through the stomach and intestines provides any present bacteria with more time to multiply and establish a stronger foothold before being eliminated. This can turn a potential mild illness into a severe systemic infection. The symptoms of a Salmonella or E. coli infection are not a simple stomach bug. They include violent, projectile vomiting, severe dehydrating diarrhea, high fever, and debilitating abdominal cramps. In vulnerable populations, including seniors, the infection can invade the bloodstream, causing sepsis, kidney failure, and even death. A 29-year-old man in Atlanta was hospitalized with a severe salmonella infection after following a regimen of daily smoothies containing raw egg and avocado. His condition deteriorated so rapidly that he required intensive care and intravenous fluids to survive. The solution is breathtakingly simple and 100% effective. Cook your eggs. Whether you prefer them boiled, poached, scrambled, or fried, the process of heating eggs to a safe temperature, 160 Fahs or 71 grads, destroys all harmful pathogens while preserving their excellent nutritional profile. The combination of cooked eggs and avocado remains a fantastic, balanced, and powerful meal. Do not let a dangerous and misguided trend compromise your health for the sake of a supposed shortcut. In conclusion, the avocado remains one of the most nutrient-dense and beneficial foods you can incorporate into your diet. Its potential to support cardiovascular health, cognitive function, and joint mobility is undeniable. However, its power is not unconditional. As we have meticulously detailed, the context in which you consume it is everything. It is not merely what you eat, but how, when, and with what you eat it that determines whether a food acts as medicine or as a slow-acting poison. The 10 mistakes we have exposed, from the quiet creep of overconsumption to the lethal gamble of raw eggs, represent the gap between blindly following a health trend and intelligently nourishing your body. The power to cross that gap is now in your hands. This knowledge is your tool. Use it to choose ripe fruit, to practice portion control, to create smart flavor pairings, and to avoid toxic combinations. By making these conscious adjustments, you can unlock the true, unadulterated healing potential of the avocado. You can transform it from a potential source of hidden harm into a genuine cornerstone of a long, strong, and vibrant life. Remember, your health is your most valuable asset. Invest in it wisely with every single bite you take.